Welcome to the Proud to Be Here podcast. On today's episode, we have Charlie Hindley, who is our senior youth support worker. We catch up with Charlie and his story with Proud to Be. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us for the Proud to Be Here podcast. I am Jackie Fonseca, and I use she, her pronouns. I am an adult support worker with the Proud to Be Adult and Family Services. And I am joined by our lovely guest today, who I will let them introduce themselves.
Hello, my name's Charlie Hindley. I'm a senior youth support worker at Proud2Be, and I use he, him pronouns.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we appreciate your time. So we're just going to ask you a couple of questions about your relationship with Proud2Be, and then we'll just get to know you a little bit better with some questions at the end.
Sounds fun.
Amazing. So how did your story with Proud2Be start? So, where did you hear about the organization, and what followed after you made contact?
So I've been Proud2Be since I think it was the second ever youth group. I transitioned at school when I was about 15, 16, and school wasn't great. So I think I Googled LGBT youth groups in Devon.
Right.
And
two results came up.
Yeah. And Proud2Be came up. So I sent an email. I met up with Maya before the session. I still remember it so vividly. And we met at a cafe before going to the youth group.
Oh, good.
And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, there's a queer person in front of me and they're happy and they're an adult. And that was the first time I'd really seen that, and especially locally. So I went to the youth group, which back then was in an office.
Wow.
With all the tables pushed to the sides, and then a plastic bag of craft stuff.
How far we've come.
Just feathers and stickers and stuff.
Right. School art project.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, like you said, how much it's grown. From there, we went from that once a month in that office.
Wow.
To we got a youth venue, which was so exciting.
Yeah.
And then it was twice a month. And that, a couple of hours twice a month just was life-changing.
When was the moment you were well, I'm attending as a young person? When was the moment that you decided oh, I could work here? That's crazy. Amazing.
I remember being 16 and thinking that is my dream job. I was watching Max and Maya. I was like, that's everything I want to do.
Yeah.
And then I went off to uni for a few years. Went into the big wide world. And then after I graduated, I came back to one of the groups. I think it was a Saturday social.
Yeah.
And reintroduced myself to everyone. It was so lovely. And everyone was so nice. And Max and I were like, by the way, we're looking for youth workers.
Wow.
Literally, the first time I went back, and it was just everything I wanted to do. So I applied. But I've been doing voluntary work with Proud2Be when I was a teenager attending the groups.
Yeah.
As well. I think that's one of the things about Proud2Be that was so impactful for me, is that I was able to volunteer and become part of things and actually really make a difference.
Yeah.
And channel all of the anger at the world into something productive, and I was given responsibility to do that. I was writing funding applications for stuff around Pride and accessibility, and being supported to do that as a teenager, which was just so good for me. To be able to do that.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. Very much what the organization is about, I think, the opportunities within and growth, which I very much value. We had some internal promotions happening recently, and I feel like our whole team rallied behind everyone that was going for the jobs, and it's just a testament to what a good working environment this is. And then, like you said, we get to go to the socials ourselves as individuals, and that's always nice. So yeah, but I because we never work with each other, because you're on the youth side and I'm on the adult side, and so on our Saturday socials, you can just catch me and Charlie in the corner gossiping. No,
Yeah.
not gossiping. Not
Have like a
gossiping.
good catch up
Yeah.
when you're not like, and then you're like
Yeah.
running off to like make food and
Yeah. And I love how the gossip's never internal. It's always outside of things. Just
Yeah.
be like, you'll never guess what happened to me on the street the other day, which is like the basis of our conversations all the time. But yeah, that's lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Moving on to a very sappy question. What does Proud2Be mean to you?
I would not be the person I am without Proud2Be. It's so much like as a young person, and now like as a young person, it was that one space where I wasn't just accepted, but I was celebrated, and I could bring my whole self, and I didn't have to prove anything to anyone.
Yeah.
And that just taught me how much value that I had. I would have just accepted that life was always going to be bad and not give myself like the credit I deserved. And I think now Proud2Be is it just makes my life so much better. Like I get to give support to young people that I benefited from so much when I was younger, and we're doing even more now than we were. You know, when I was a young person, it was 2 youth groups a month, and now we're doing several a week. We've got one-to-one support for young people. We're always trying more and more, and it just gives me hope, and it gives me friends. Like I get on with everyone here so well.
Yeah.
I always look forward to our team days where I get to see like everyone on the adult side who I don't normally see throughout the week. I just wouldn't be who I was without Proud2Be.
Right. Well, you're like such an integral part of the team, and I always love learning new things from you, and our team days are the best because I actually get to see you, and that's good. You know, sick of seeing my adult side coworkers all the time. Boring. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I can never get sick of them. But yes, thank you. So what keeps you motivated to keep coming back and being part of this organization?
I think it comes back to more of the same. Knowing how much of a difference Proud2Be has made for me as a teenager, but also like continues to make for me as an adult. Just the idea of even providing some of that to somebody else is like more than enough motivation. And I love it when you see the young people you're working with realize that they can be safe in spaces, and you see like a mask dropping and you see them relaxing into a space that is like everything. That just, we always have like a little celebration when we see those like milestones, because everyone should have access to places that are safe and accessible for them, and being able to provide that is everything.
I think we do a good job of creating that kind of space and taking into account trying to have everyone being heard and their experiences. And sometimes we get people that maybe don't have a shared experience with people exactly, but there's a similar enough basis there where things can be spoken about and shared. And I get that. I feel like it's similar in the adult services and youth services, when that is like the core of what we provide is that space. Obviously it comes with different challenges, like we'll have different processes and things like that, but I feel like it's very it's good to have. And so my final question about Proud2Be is going to be like, when you picture Proud2Be in 10 years, what do you see?
I think we're going to grow so much. I think we're going to be reaching even more people. I think we're going to be, I mean, we've got hubs now in Paignton and Newton Abbot. I think we're going to grow. We're going to be in more places, reaching more people, and still providing that culture of safety and respect and empowerment, and hopefully sharing that just to more people. I'm really excited to see.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone always has so many like good ideas when we do our big like team planning.
Yeah.
Meetings. I'm always really excited to hear what people say. People have like such amazing ideas, and I really can't wait to see where we're gonna go with them.
Yeah. I'm excited too. I feel like if I won the lottery, I'd just donate half of my money to Proud2Be. Just
100%.
Be like, let's just have one big group, like one big building where all of the things happen, and then we'll deck it out with all of our.
Oh, we could have like
goodies.
a community centre, like our own.
I want to run the cafe.
Yes,
I want
cafe.
to build a cafe in there, and just all of the proceeds will just keep recycling into the organization. You know. So
and drop-in spaces as well. Like, I'm picturing it all.
Yeah,
it's gonna
me
be.
too. Let's play the lottery like once a week, and just
one of us will win.
One of us. That's how statistics work, isn't it? Just. Yeah, I've been telling myself that for like 10 years. Like one day I will win the lottery. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your Proud2Be story and insight and everything. So we're gonna switch gears now to some fun. So this segment is called This or That.
Okay.
And the idea is you gotta choose this or that. And then you can give an explanation as to why.
Okay.
But yeah, if you choose one, you have to live without the other forever.
Okay.
I know. So it's high stakes.
High stakes.
High stakes. Yeah. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. This or that. Beach or park?
I would choose park.
Park. Any park in particular? Like a state park where there's a lake?
If we're going like that kind of park, Dartmoor, like you've got to keep Dartmoor.
Okay.
I love nature. I love getting out in nature. Beaches and wheels are not always the best of friends.
Fair.
I love it when I do get to go to the beach on like the beach wheelchairs, but I don't do it as often as I do getting up onto Dartmoor. There's a lot more like accessible routes, and I think people realise on Dartmoor. Yeah. And it's definitely one of my happy places.
That's fair. And Dartmoor, I've only been to Dartmoor like a couple of times.
I
don't really know the names of the places around in Dartmoor. So I know Dartmoor's big, but there's like places in it. Does that make sense? And I'm like, I have no idea what they're called. I went when I first came here, like the first ever trip that I took. We went to Dartmoor, and there was like a stream and a cafe, and there's peacocks everywhere, like everywhere. And so I was just like, where is this magical place that England is? Like, you know what I mean? So I'd love to go back. I have no idea where it was.
I have so many places I want to take you to now.
No, because I love nature and everything like that. I don't really like going into like the woods, if that makes sense. Like, but I'll visit a cafe that has a stream and peacocks.
I know, an amazing cafe, like completely in the middle of nowhere in an old gunpowder factory.
Oh,
it's very cool.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to
go.
We'll have to plan a trip. It's exciting. So, movie night or TV binge?
TV binge.
Same.
I don't know. I don't really watch many movies. To the extent that people get really surprised that I haven't seen certain films. Yeah. Like things that people consider absolute classics that everyone's seen. I'm like, no.
Have you seen Jaws?
No.
Oh, Charlie, we're gonna have a movie night. This is exciting. You'll take me to Dartmoor and I'll show you all the movies that you need to watch. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that sounds fun. Zoo or aquarium? I know. I knew that was going to be a tough one for you, though.
I love the zoo, but aquariums, especially if you can go when it's quiet. I think like the sensory experience, the low light, the like lit up fish tanks.
There's like you can do the behind the scenes stuff at Plymouth Aquarium. I think like you can go and feed.
That sounds really cool.
It's like a birthday experience.
I always wanted to do the like sleepovers as a kid, and I never got the chance to.
I've always wanted to do I think there's a museum in New York that does that. I've always wanted to do that, but it's like, then you watch Night at the Museum and you're like, well, that's either true or it's not, and you can't.
Do you want to find out?
I really do. City or countryside?
Countryside.
Yeah.
Like, 100%.
Yeah.
Cities are loud.
That's fair.
I mean, there's things I like about cities. They're usually a bit more wheelchair friendly, fewer cobbles. But
Yeah.
I grew up in the countryside. It's got to be the countryside.
Fair. Yeah. I would choose countryside as well, but interestingly, Coke or Pepsi?
Ooh.
This is not a sponsored thing, by the way. I should say that we're not sponsored by either.
Probably Pepsi, especially the cherry one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
Okay.
They're a lot easier to eat. It's less messy.
Fair.
You can put anything you want, like, on pizza. And cheese and tomato and, like, olives and, yeah.
You're an olives guy.
I am an olives guy.
Interesting. I love olives, but not hot. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I love olives, and we'll have it with, like, cheese and I'll have a jar of olives by itself. Don't care.
Me too.
Love olives, but, like, as soon as you change their temperature, I'm like, no, get that away from me. Is that weird?
I've never heard anyone else say it, but it makes sense.
Huh. Yeah. Green or black olives? It's not even a question, but...
Green.
Thank God. Black olives are gross. And then I do have a really good question about animals, because I figured you'd like that one.
Okay.
So, I'm a strong believer you shouldn't have exotic pets. Right,
yeah,
because that's dumb, and they don't deserve to
They
be
don't deserve that. You don't... The risks, yeah.
Agreed. However, in this very particular question, you've won the lottery, and you have an infinite amount of money, so you can choose one exotic pet, and all of their needs would be met. Which exotic pet would you choose to have?
That's a really good question. I think I relate a lot to sloths.
Okay.
Like, they're slow. They move a bit like I do. They like their naps.
Gotta love a nap.
And yeah, they're just great, aren't they?
There's
hang around.
There's one at Paignton Zoo now.
There is.
Yeah.
And he's a bit trans.
Is he?
Yeah. So,
oh my God, tell me how, why, when?
So Mo the sloth
yeah.
Was at a previous zoo before, and they thought that he was Moana the sloth.
Okay.
But he wasn't getting along with the male sloth that they put him in with.
Okay.
And then so they realised, oh, he's a guy. And now he's Mo, and they've moved him to Paignton Zoo so that he doesn't have to
ally.
Like,
love it.
Be so stressed with the other sloth.
I love that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that, like, lions can also like switch gender as well?
Yeah, I've heard of like intersex lions is an amazing.
Have you heard
thing.
like what that, like, how it happens a lot of the time? Like, when it does happen, it's like essentially is like females in a pack together, and there's no male around to protect them. One of them just starts growing a mane.
Yeah, that's so like, cool. It's a bit like clownfish.
I'm like, that's amazing.
Nature's
just
really
is in
cool.
nature, isn't it? Like, duh. I love that argument.
Yeah.
When people argue that, I'm like, okay.
I know.
Have you met a penguin?
I was going to mention penguins.
Have you seen that big baby penguin?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with him. Pesto the penguin. Please look that up fluffy. If you haven't. It's so fluffy. I want him. That would be my exotic pet. Him. Yeah. Him specifically. Pesto the penguin.
Pesto the penguin.
I'm obsessed with him. He lives in my head rent free. How is he that big? And I love, my favorite thing about him is he just follows his mom around. He's like, I don't have any friends. No one wants to talk to me. I'm like, no, I'll be your friend, Pesto. So yeah. I love how we're ending on Pesto the penguin.
I love that.
But yes, thank you so much for joining. I hope you had fun.
I did.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. And it was lovely to have Charlie.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.